Universal Brainstorming 107. This is called What Happened to the Black Man? I want to sit and apologize to the black men out here, because this is not a race thing, and I want to disclaim that right now. Don't get on here being ignorant, okay? This is not about race. And I want to know, and I want every man to know that you matter. Everything about you matters. But it is time to stand up and take accountability. Okay? I'm speaking from facts. This is a Venn diagram of men. Okay? This is not about race. But while every man might share the same story, every man has something different about them than the next man, especially in the category of ethics. A white man has a different life than a Hispanic man. A Hispanic man lives a different life than a black man. A black man lives a different life than an Asian man. An Asian man lives a different life than an Indian man. An Indian man lives a different life than an Irish man. An Irish man lives a different life than an alien man. Any type of man. Race doesn't matter, but in this case, it matters. And let me tell you a story. And every time I talk about it, I know this is God speaking to me. I know God wants me to tell this story, because every time I talk about it, I get so emotional as if I was there. Right? So this is what happened. The oppressor seen the unity of a black man and a black woman and their people. Once they seen that, they wanted to destroy it, because a black man and a black woman united. And I'm talking about brothers. I'm talking about fathers. I'm really talking about fathers. And we got the ignorant people in here, but y'all can catch the live from the beginning and know what I said. I'm telling a story. And we're going to keep talking. Okay, because if this makes somebody mad, this is a history lesson. Just like how they talk about every ethic in a history book, this is a history lesson. Have several seats and listen, or bye-bye. Okay? Anyway, let's talk about the story of what happened and why God is far from the black man. Unless, okay, we're talking about majority. We're talking about the distorted black man. Okay? Even the divine black man, they have stuff to learn. And that's why I'm giving back to my people, because it's time to educate, because I channel this message from the Most High. Let's continue. When a black man and a black woman are together in unity, nothing can break them. Their connection to the Most High God is so strong. So strong. They literally activate their superpowers. Yeah. When people say superpowers, I want y'all to pay attention, right? If superpowers didn't exist, what makes you think all of these books, all of these movies? Come on now. Where do they get it from? Consciousness. Oh, I just had an idea of what? The truth? Look, it looked like somebody sitting in my forehead. Come on now. Come through. Divine. It's rooted in consciousness. Why? Because we have superpowers. Now everybody like, oh, we got superpowers. It's in every single book, bro. And let me tell you something that they do. They use different terms for the same thing. It's science. I'm a scientist, I know. It's science. In science, when you literally open a science book, you'll see the same terms, different terms for the same process. And it's a reason why they do this. It's not like a bad reason. It's a real reason why they do this. But we're not going to get into that. I'm telling a story, okay? So, let me see. Turn these comments off. You're lucky. Okay. So, yeah, we have superpowers. And when the black man and the black woman is united, they are very aware of their superpowers and they can see things coming from a mile away. That's why it took over centuries to fully corrupt and destroy the black man. Because the black man protects the kingdom. The black woman builds. She don't do it alone, but this is her role. She builds her kingdom. And she keeps the peace. Everybody else a part of her kingdom are only there because they add to the peace. They don't take. And if they took, then it's off with their heads. Therefore, the oppressor, and I'm going to tell you, this war, it's a war. And the oppressor, beef ain't with nobody but the Most High God. Why? Because they want to be the Most High God. Why? Because they want to control. They seen the powers of the Creator that is bestowed in us. Take away the Creator, they can be the Creator. Okay, how can they get to the Creator? How can they destroy it? Oh, who is protecting it? They playing chess, not checkers. Who was protecting the kingdom? The black man. Okay, so let me be the black man friend. Let me see. Okay, so in the kingdom, it's true love, it's support, helping, knowledge, right? So what the oppressor do, what they do, they mimic it. They mimic the support. They mimic the true love. They mimic everything. That's why now, like I said in the beginning of my life, this is not about race, right? But let me tell you, when different ethics crossbreed, just like you crossbreed your dogs and everything, when different ethics do that, they either weaken or strengthen. Is it called the offspring? Their child. The child that comes out. They either weaken or strengthen the child that comes out. Now, depending on which side of the boat you on. Okay, because once a man enter a woman, he takes. They exchange. Right? Oh, okay. Follow me though. Don't get all whoop-de-whoop on stuff. Just follow me though. I'm talking about what happened to the black man. I'm talking and I'm explaining why was the black man the most wanted. I'm telling you why the black man was the most wanted, okay? What happened was, like I said, they found ways to get up in the kingdom. They found ways to get up in the kingdom. And what was it? It was to mimic the nature of pure consciousness, pureness, Holy Spirit. It was to mimic the nature of Holy Spirit. It was to be the snake, the iguana. They mimic, okay? So once, the black people seen that the oppressor, and I'm not saying any race, so the oppressor is the oppressor. It could be anybody. Somebody who wasn't the black man and the black woman. Or it could have been the black woman and the black man, but it could have been a distortion. It could have been an off-breed. It could have been a crossbred of the black man. It could have been somebody who was distorted anyway, coming in, trying to divide and conquer. Unity. Because they're trying to get to God. And not for good. They want to overthrow the Most High. How can you overthrow the Most High? Let me tell you, they did it. They did it. That's why you don't know nothing about this. That's why that's why ignorant exists, because they did it. They attacked pure consciousness, and what did they do? They confused it. They betrayed it. They betrayed it. They came with a mask on their face, and they told the black woman and the black man to befriend them because they're friendly and they can provide and they can protect and they will support and they will help and they will build. Only knowing that the black man and the black woman will let them in with open arms and teach them everything they know. Why? Because it's expression. Pure consciousness likes to express. So of course the truth will come out. Of course knowledge will be given. Of course true love will be spread. Of course our weakness will be shared. Of course our strengths will be shared. Of course we will show our superpowers. Why? Because we trusted the oppressor. Why? Because they were shape-shifting in our face and we didn't know it. Why? Because we had a pure heart. This is God's heart. Whether we knew it or not. See, let me tell you something. Intuition is a tricky game. When you've been right all your life and then somebody tell you you're wrong, you kind of be like, huh? What? What? So let me tell you, back to the superpowers of the black man and the black woman. The black man and the black woman knew that there was a oppressor in the camp. See, let me tell you, when you know somebody ain't for you, you know until you don't know. Right? Okay, so what happened? So the black man and the black woman, they got superpowers, okay? The children got everybody got superpowers. Everybody in the camp, everybody in the kingdom, they got superpowers. Right? The superpowers, because they're connected to the Most High, kept giving them warnings. Warnings. And the same story happens all the time. Warnings. The Most High will send you warnings. The Most High will send you messages. The Most High. Yeah, that's part of your superpower too. And they knew that. They knew that. Because they seen it. They seen that the black woman and the black man, they hold prophecies in their chakras. And not just the third eye, baby. In every part of their chakras. We hold knowledge. We hold DNA. DNA cells that other beings do not have. Not saying that they're less than, but just saying that this is how we were made. See, when I talk about us, I don't want to say that we less than, but this is how we were made. Melanated melanated copper beings. This is how we were made. We were made with instructions. We were made with prophecies in our DNAs. Think of it as a Dragon Ball Z. The little balls. Dragon balls. Okay? In our chakras. Now, the only reason why the oppressor found this out is because we will say something about something that didn't happen yet. And here comes the oppressor. And they're like, whoa, you did say that was going to happen, and it happened. They sat back back and they studied us. When I tell you they studied us, they experimented with us for more than years. Okay, and this is why the black man and the black woman got caught slipping, because it didn't happen so fast. It didn't happen fast, baby. It happened slowly. They slowly studied us, because at first we knew not to trust them. At first we had all the prophecies in our chakras, okay, because we was eating pure, for one. We was doing our meditation. We was grounded in nature. We was baby, we had the electricity. Baby, let me tell you, what we had, it wasn't nothing that we didn't have. We had weapons that was more than the GUN. Come on now. More than a sword. More than a bow and arrow. Stop playing with us. Stop playing with us. We were tapped in before tap even knew how to go in. Do you hear me? Stop playing with my people. It's time to wake them up. Stop judging the black man. Help him out. Help him out. But you do that by choosing you. You do that by choosing the Most High God. Because that is what built the kingdom for the divine masculine to protect. So we taking it back from the oppressor. Tell them game over. Game over. So let's continue. Shout out to everybody who's still watching and listening. This video will be posted. That's the only reason why I'm live, because I want this video to be posted. So let's continue talking. So the oppressor studied us for years. Like I said, we have superpowers. And at first, our superpowers told us not to trust the oppressor, right? So the Most High God told us that these were the oppressors. These people trying to take me out. These people trying to take me out of you. Without me, you'll be a zombie. Without me, you'll be brainwashed. You'll be controlled. Do you hear me, my child? That's what the Most High is saying to the black man and to the black woman in the kingdom, right? Okay, but like I said, this didn't happen overnight. It happened it happened so slowly that the black man and the black woman started to think that these, what did I call them? Iguanas. These iguanas blended in so well because they did it for years. They did not attack us until it was time, till they had every nook and cranny about where we come from, about who we tapped into, about what we tapped into, about what powers we got, our weaknesses, our strengths. They waited until they had all the information, all the knowledge, because when they came to attack, again, the attack wasn't even overnight. See, the studying was years. Then the attack came months. It didn't take them long to attack us. Why? Because they had everything. They knew in order to get to God, they had to divide the union. Because let me tell you about a union. Okay, it's to self, to source, to union. To self, to source, to union. When the black man goes to self, then he goes to source, then he goes to union. When the black woman goes to self, then she goes to source, then she goes to union. Okay, they on the same page, then they meet up in this union. I'm not even talking about boyfriend and girlfriend, but it's soul tribe together as one. A black man and a black woman together as one. Don't matter. It could be father, it could be brother, it could be cousin, it could be uncle. That's why they doing all this. Let me tell you. The oppressor started all that INCEST stuff that is on our bloodline for so many years. Grown-ups touching on grown men doing that crap. Where you think it came from? That did not come from God. How you think he got here? did not come from God. That crap did not come from God. Why do you think it's so, why do you think it attacked the black people the most? To tear us apart. I'm telling you, they wanted to tear us apart from limb and limb. Our babies weren't coming out all dysfunctional. Definitely won't. Our babies was coming out with superpowers. How we end up with dysfunction? How we end up with brother and sister in the bed? Come on now. This didn't come from us. It was brought to us. Because they knew our superpower. Where it's at? In the chakras. Not for everybody. But yes, for God's people. It's in the chakra. Okay. So like I said, when they started attacking us, the oppressor, they knew to take off the head. Who was it? The divine masculine, the black man, who was protecting what? The queen, who was the creator of what? The land, nature, Miss Creator, Miss Goddess, Miss Divine Supreme High Being, in her kingdom, in her palace, with her people, with her tribe. They took that black man right in front of her. Right in front of her. Right in front of her kids. Right in front of... They caused so much chaos. That is how we know fear. Okay? This is just the start of what happened many, many years ago. When I say many years ago, I mean think about a year and think thousands of years before that. Many years ago. And it happened in one spot. Then it happened in another spot because nature was connected. We had technology. We had structure on Earth and many planets as well. And this is not every planet's story, but this is Earth's story. And let me tell you, they got to the black man and they knew the black man weakness. They also created a weakness for the black woman. A black woman, and I'm not going to say, and when I say black, okay, I'm talking about every single melanated copper being, okay? I don't care about no skin tone. I'm talking about every melanated copper being. Do you hear me? That's the people I'm talking about when I say black. Don't matter what you look like. So, the black women develop sadness, depression, anger. Okay, because like I said, the iguanas, they did more than just attack. Okay, they lied. Let me tell you, when I say the attack took months, they created chaos. But you know what I was saying in the beginning about confusion? Yeah, back to the intuition. People stop trusting their intuition when they don't see no results. So when God told his people, in her people, because God is non-binary, but God is a masculine, feminine energy. Okay? And God has a portal which women hold in their womb. Okay? That's why they say God is woman. And that's why some say God is male. Neither is wrong. It's not important right now. What's important is that you learn what happened to your people, to your tribe. You want to talk about a history book. What's in the history book? We can talk about a history book, but that's only talking about a set of ages. Let's take it back. Let's take it all the way back to the beginning. What they don't put in the history book, or at least not yours. So, the black woman was misled all the way. Soon as the oppressor even came in contact with this human race, God told the tribe to not let them in. Do not share what you got going on. God, and see, that is the season of now. Can you see it? Oh, I can't tell people this. I gotta reserve this. I gotta say this. Come on now. If you know, you know. If you've been locked in, you know this is the season of silence. Move before you speak type energy, right? Let me tell you what it came from. These are the instructions from God from the beginning of time. So now you know where we at now. Now you know we taking back now. And I'm going to tell you exactly what we taking back. So let me tell you. God been tell them, the tribe, not to, you don't turn your back for me. God said, you listen to me. You do not trust these beings. God said, these are beings. I wouldn't call this a human race. I wouldn't call that a human race. I did not create that. Well, yes, I did. But I only had a piece in that creation. Whether with you, I did it wholly, okay? Because distortion created that. Distortion created these beings, okay? I'm the Most High God, therefore I have pieces of myself in them. But I'm not of them. Right? This is what God is telling to the tribe, right? So the tribe is like, okay, God, I believe you. I believe you because, you know, like we have superpowers. Come on now. We already know, we already seen what was going to happen before it even happened. Before the oppressors even approached us. And that's why it caught us slipping. Because these messages was given to us before we actually seen the results. So when the oppressor came, this was months after those messages. Right? Then the oppressor was wearing a mask as if they were our friend, as if they were our lovers. That's why all the crossbreeding came. They did that on purpose too. Because first they thought we was filthy. I want y'all to know. First they thought we was filthy until they seen the powers we held and they knew that they didn't have that. So then they looked at themselves and said, oh my gosh, we're filthy. And yeah, I want what they got. I want what they got. And they started planting. They started plotting. They started destroying. But like I said, come on, follow me. And I keep repeating myself because I want you to follow me. I want you to understand. I want you to overstand. I want you to process this. I want your cells in your brain, cells all in your body to feel this message. Because you know I'm speaking from the truth. I couldn't be up here for 30 minutes if I was lying. So, the tribe didn't believe anymore that those beings were the oppressor. What they thought, and it took them years to figure this out, but what they thought is that these beings were sent from God to protect, like, because they shape and shifting. They shape and shifting. So, of course. Right? All right. Then, years later, the oppressor started oppressing. And, okay, God said, let's talk about what the oppressor actually did, okay? So, when they got all the resources and the tools to mess with our minds, because that is how we speak to the Most High God. We speak telepathic to the unified field of consciousness because it's bestowed in us through our fluids in our body. Okay? We speak with purpose and intention because you want to leave your child alone in this big wide world, so why would the Creator? Why would the Creator leave us? Put us here to leave us. That don't make sense. How are we going to get in touch with God? I'm with you the whole time. I'm right here. I just need you to tap in. I just need you to just do you. You do you, I can do with me. You feel me? We ain't gang, baby. We ain't gang. That's what God be saying. That's what God be saying for real. And I know God existed so many times that I was like, God, is God real? Or am I tripping? And God be like, girl, you ain't tripping. It's weird, but you ain't tripping. Why is it weird? Because you're not used to this. Why? Because you've been stripped away from this knowledge for so long, but I'm here to bring it back. Why? Because you trusted me. You trusted me. And now for that, I got you. So let's go. So yeah, months after years, the oppressor started playing with the divine feminine emotions. With lust. Oh, the oppressor is so fine and dandy. Why? Because they've been drinking pure water and pure fruit juice, and they've been living it up on our land, so they look really good. They look really healthy. They look different than what they did before. Oh, they have compassion and they have empathy and they have, yeah, it's a lie, but yeah, they had it. Yeah, they had it. So what did they do? They went after the taken women. Why? To promote shame. Why? Because they wanted to store it in your root chakra. Why? Because they were studying frequencies and vibrations. It's all about the frequencies and vibrations. Yeah. Yeah. Now, someone shared to them about the frequency and vibrations, but we wasn't so hooked on the frequency and vibrations back then. Like, we knew it mattered, but we were so vibrating high that we didn't just wander around, think about, oh my gosh, what is this vibration? Oh my God, what is this frequency? No, because the land was already fulfilled with high vibrations, right? They ran tests over the years, slowly, hidden, to see different frequencies on us, different vibrations on us, and how will we react? How will we react? That's why in modern science, and when I speak modern, I speak about 50 years ago, 70 years ago, 100 years ago, maybe 200 years ago, when scientists started studying frequencies and vibrations. What do you think? Because everybody keep a journal. Why? Because that's also communication to the Most High God. Writing. Anyway, so they was writing, okay, and they also was writing across seas and everything else to communicate with others that look like them, their family, because they was doing this worldwide, so they couldn't just do this in one spot and then not do the rest. because we are everywhere. So yeah, what modern science did was find old journals. Why? Because it's a family heirloom. So of course, different people had different books, sharing it with different people in different nooks, looking into. Yeah, they was all up in our business. They was all up in our business, right? They was all up in our business. So that's why modern science started studying frequencies and vibrations, because yes, they had old books, they had old journals, of frequencies and vibrations, and how did it affected black people and life in general. When I say life, I mean mother nature, I mean plants, trees, grass, everything. This is in science books now. So if I was lying, how was it in science books now? You think it was somebody just one day was like, oh, what is a frequency? What is a vibration? No, it was taught to them. This is a family heirloom. And it didn't come, and it's rare for it to be brought down through our family, but I'm Rachel Leah Shabazz. So my folks gonna know what's up. Okay, because it ends with me and it starts with me. Come on. Anyway, sitting pretty per usual in the laboratory, cooking up, ready to drop this truth bomb on a lot of folks because their time is up. Ain't no oppressor in my land. So let's keep going. All right. Where we at? Okay, so the oppressor started messing with frequencies and vibrations to throw off our chakras, unbalanced. They wanted our chakras to be unbalanced. Remember, I said in the beginning, our chakras hold prophecies from the Most High God. If they are unbalanced, then the messages we get is distorted and it's confused. Okay? They're playing games with our soul. They know that the mind, body, and soul is in coherence with each other. So they studied and they started using lust after women of marriage. Yeah, because marriage was really big. Yeah, okay, and it wasn't forced and it wasn't planned. It was true love. Okay, so let's get it. They started breaking up families with lust, and what I mean by that, I mean they attacked marriages to build shame, guilt, low vibrational frequencies, and fear of their partner finding out. Okay, they would put their daughters onto the grown men, the husband. Okay, and this is why a lot of MO, you know what I'm talking about, was happening, because the black man was messing with the oppressor's daughters and not knowing that they were VIRGINS, until they would do the intercourse, because they would be under the influence. They would be under the influence of feel good. Okay, now we used to partake in these feel goods, okay, but the oppressor knew how to heighten the feel goods in areas that was going to make us more lustful. Got it? So he made the black man, he didn't make, but he influenced the black man to sleep with their daughters and their wives. And they didn't know that they were being set up, but it was all part of a scheme, right? Because if the black man stepped out on his wife, he no longer respects her, right? That right there broke his heart. That right there was the first thing that broke a man's heart. When he went out and cheated on his wife, that broke his heart. He did not feel godly. He did not feel worthy. That right there was the first indicator. That right there was the first sword in our souls. Number 2, they made their kids do nasty stuff with, the oppressor made their kids do nasty stuff with their moms and dads and their kids and their brothers and sisters. Not with our tribe, but within each other. They do that, right? So they did that heavily, right? Because once they go out and play, once the oppressor kids go out and play and they mingle with the black people's kids, guess what they start doing? Touching on each other, feeling on each other. That's why it's on our bloodline for so long, because they brought it to us, like I was saying. Okay, then, because see, this is not where they got evil. Like, this was evil, but this is not when they just start, really getting, like, chopping. Like, this is before that. They were scared of us for a long time before they started being bold like that. And the only reason why they felt like they can do that was because it was written in books, it was written in journals, it was written. So they had stuff to read about us. And they didn't want us to read, even though we were smarter than them. But anyway, let's continue. We the ones who taught the oppressor how to read our language. First of all, because this language that we speak is broken anyway, and this is the broken language is the real language. They didn't even know our language. They were speaking some alienic bull crap. First of all, speaking in sign language, trying to communicate without communicating. Just dumb. Okay. So yeah, that's what the oppressor was doing. Let me go back. I'm sorry. Okay, back to how they destroyed the black men. Okay, yeah. So they was doing the stuff with the kids. They was doing the stuff with the wives and the husband. Because see, what happened was they attacked with the wives' loyalty and the husband loyalty. Okay, they was both stepping out on their marriage. Now they didn't know about it till later, and it was just pain and heartbreak, and that just, it made guilt and resent and shame, and looking in the mirror, you can't stand yourself because you don't see God no more, and you're like, what happened to me? Like, I'm falling apart. You feel me? That's what happened. That's the first thing that happened. But all is forgiven in God's land, right? And we knew that. So we made amends, went about our day. Phase 2. Phase 2. Healed our chakras, because that's what we do daily. It was a daily ritual for us to be in tune with our chakras. So to destroy our chakra is kind of, it's like a real reach back then. But eventually. Anyway, so yeah, we healed, we forgave, and we kicked it, right? Phase 2. Said the oppressor. Phase 2. We need to hit them a little harder. Let's get into the food. Okay. Some animals were forbidden. And the ways they caught the animals were forbidden. But what happened, the oppressors started just doing whatever they wanted. They started hunting whatever they wanted. They started hunting however they wanted. And they made it seem like we was running low on nutrients or something, right? Because some of the oppressors got sick. Now, when they got sick, it was only a repercussion of their actions, right? So they made the sickness seem like it was a nutrients deficiency, and they spread fear amongst the kingdom and the land because they started breaking out with diseases. And let me tell you why. It's because they was having babies with their, fill in the blanks. Okay? And they was having babies with animals too, horses. Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. All right. Yeah. And they also was not supposed to do that either. It was rules. They have rules. Okay, to respect the animals, to respect the land is free. You don't do that. Who even would think to do that? They don't even look the same. And that's what our tribe knew. We reproduce with what we look like, not a dang horse. Is you tripping? What? 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 What is y'all doing? My land, get out. Get out. That's what I try to get out. It's time for you to go to where you came from. Okay? But it was too late. That's when the war started. When they finally said get out, that's when the war started. That's when they started literally going to war and hurting us. So yeah. The oppressors started getting sick. Y'all gonna God is good. The oppressors started getting sick and they started developing diseases, and they lied to our tribe saying that it was because of a nutrients deficiency. So we needed to eat forbidden animals, forbidden plants, forbidden and we needed to hunt, and we just needed to do it quickly because we're too sick of that. They were just lying to them. Why my people believe this, I don't know. I feel like I was there, but to tell you, baby. So some people believe, some people didn't. And the stuff that we was eating wasn't good for our bones and our structure and our DNA. Because what you put in your body, literally, is it restructures your DNA. It restructures your DNA. It gets in your bloodstream. It gets in your brain. It's like a mind, body, soul contract. It's all connected. So when you eat something that's not for your body type, what happens? Sicknesses, diseases, and it is in your DNA. It's in the DNA. It's not just in your body, blood, so it's in your DNA, bro. They don't care about their DNA. They're just gonna use us to be stronger. You feel me? But our DNA, oh baby, they wanted to ruin it. They seen that, yeah, we might get a little ill, but we knew how to heal ourselves with the herbs of the land. Mother Nature and us was so connected to the point that any disease we had, she will repopulate something to heal us. We would be observant because we are one with the land, so we know what we usually crop in this season and that season. But the stuff they was doing, it was just, we was canceling it out. Let me tell you, and that's why now I'm gonna briefly talk about this well. It keeps being brought up to my mind. You know what they say, the well, and they did a spell and they made all of us drink, yeah, poison. Poison to our chakras. Poison to our chakras. This is only the beginning of time what happened to the black man. Okay. And from there on out, it was a rivalry. Oh, it was so sad. Oh my gosh. It was a rivalry. Them going to war, slaughter, Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. A lot of blood got I'm telling you. I wouldn't be up here this long if I was lying. You can do your research. Now, you might not see the beginning of time, but you will see that this story took place for a long time. It got worse every time because slowly, each time, it worked for them. It worked for the oppressor. And that's why they written all the grimoires that they got. Where are grimoires? Y'all burnt it every time that we said, these people, this being, let me tell you what they do. Let me tell you how they look. The real form. Not the form they take. Their real form. Let me tell you. Because we had grimoires, we have books, we have millions of, come on now. But you know what they do with our stuff. Why? Why? It's not just because, oh, we got superior. It's because we are connected to the Most High God. They don't like the Most High God because they want to be the Most High God and they can't. They only have a little piece of the Most High God. They don't have the same activations like we do. And I'm talking for the melanated copper beings. I don't care what you look like. This is only a vessel. Pay attention to the atoms and the molecules that's stored in you. Okay? So, let's go. Come on, wrap this up. I'm grateful for this message. Thank you for choosing me. And yeah, so it gets worse, but now it's getting better. Why? Because my people are finally free. But we need to save the black man for this to be ceased. It's time we end the cycle. Please, 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 please end the cycle. That's why they know what's going to happen next. That's why that's why they be too. Come on now. They always keep a black person in the back of their pocket. Why? And they feed them right. They the best water, the best juice. And they siphon energy too. By intercourse. So I apologize to the black man because he was targeted the most. They didn't have to do much to get to the woman. The woman loved the black man. And seeing the black man literally morph in front of her kids, in front of her eyes, even the black boy. When I hear other women, when I see other women, I see them screaming inside. When I think about myself, I'm screaming inside. And it ain't really about anybody else but the black man. Because the black man gave me herpes. And a black man failed me many times. And I've been angry so much at the black man. And God told me, the black man don't know no better no more. God told me to forgive the black man. Because they've been robbed. They've been destroyed for many years. Even when a black man got strength, he ain't got strength. Even when a black man want to be worthy, he don't feel worthy. He don't. A black man nervous system is destroyed until he got to pick up the pieces. And when you got to pick up the pieces of a black man nervous system, you're not just doing it for this lifetime. You're doing it from lifetimes from a long time ago. Long time ago. Years, centuries. It's easier for a woman because we have a womb, we have a portal. We can walk right in, we can walk right out, okay? So, I believe in you, black man. And I know what happened to you in front of your divine feminine. I know your heart got broke because your wife chose the oppressor over you. I know once your heart got broke, everything in you shattered. And you stopped caring. And you stopped. So, dear black man, what happened to you? What didn't happen to you? No.